Hi, this is Gerald Salenti. It's Thursday, June 11th, 2020, and here are some of today's trends in the news. It was down in Asia, down in Europe, and down in the USA. The markets were down. Gold up a little bit later on. Oil down, Bitcoin down, but still hanging above that 9,000 mark. So what in the world is going on? Stocks suffered their biggest one-day pullback in 3 months as traders, how about gamblers? Can we call them what they are? Traders, anyway. Grew concerned about the number of coronavirus cases increasing in some states that are reopening from the lockdown. Shares that have surged recently on hopes for a smooth reopening of the economy led to declines. What smooth reopening of the economy? They're making up all these
absolute bullshit
rules. Nothing more than
that is bullshit.
One country, one place, one president, chancellor, prime minister, governor, mayor, to the village clerk is making up
bullshit.
That's it. So it's not a smooth opening. The markets are a joke. All your trend information is there. They're dumping dough into this, and it's going to bust at some time. Again, Greg Manarino did the story in this last Trends Journal, backing up so much of what we've been saying with new information onto it. Dow Jones Industrial Average plunged 6.9%. S&P slid 5.9%. NASDAQ dropped 5.3%. You ready? Traders dumped airline, cruise operators, and retailers after piling into those names over the past month amid expectations of a swift economic recovery. Who are they kidding? You know, in your Trends Journal, we were the first to call this. We were the first to call it.
Bullshit.
That's right. This is nothing more than a media hype. And the politicians, these power-hungry freaks, taking control of it. The numbers add up to nothing. The majority of the people that are dying, even in the United States, are over 65. Obesity. Yeah, America, we're the heavyweight champion of the world. 42% of the people obese. 70% overweight. Lung disease, heart disease, respiratory ailments. That's who the virus is bringing down. Swift recovery. They closed down the joint, and now they're opening up with all their stupid rules. And where it was down, United Airlines, Delta, American, Southwest, Carnival Corp, Norwegian Cruise Lines, shares fell 15.3% each. Gap and Kohl's shares closed lower by 8.1 and 11.2 respectively. Again, we've been saying this on the mark over and over. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin told CNBC's Jim Cramer, we can't shut down the economy again. I can't stand that little slime ball. Again, what do they call this? The guy that used to steal when he was with that foreclosure king. Yeah, when he ran that bank out in California, but I agree with him 100%. The S&P 500 and Dow are still up 37% from their coronavirus intraday lows. Oil, poof, took a hit. Again, artificially boosted up. We saw West Texas Intermediate dropped over 8%. And Brent, let's see, it closed at $38.51 a barrel. It was just over $40 a barrel. And gold, again, the dollar got stronger. You're going to hear now what you've never heard before. We are going into a new economic climate. When I was a youth, back in the 70s, there was a thing called stagflation. Flat economy, rising inflation. We're going into dragflation. This economy's going down. And all this cheap money they're pumping into the system, we're going to see an inflationary spiral like we've never witnessed, probably since back in the days of the Weimar Republic. And it's going to go global. Dragflation, gold and silver, I forecast are going to go much higher. Ready? Retail stock market investors pile bets on bankrupt U.S. companies. This was from Wednesday's Financial Times. Today is Thursday. Just to put things into perspective, how they keep putting out
Bullshit.
retail shareholders in the U.S. are piling into stocks of bankrupt companies in a sign of the speculative investment wave sweeping the markets. They're even buying Hertz, J.C. Penney. Again, the details are in the journal. This is a joke. The market has nothing to do with reality or Main Street. It's the White Shoe Boy Club, and you ain't in it. Speculators bid up crude along with risky assets. That was yesterday. All right? Speculators, gamblers. Fed chair says economic pain may last years. This is yesterday. Oh, really? Oh, the Fed chair said it. I only said it. The Greatest Depression began when I saw what these slimy little low-life scum politicians did to shut down the economy. Oh, but hey, now the Fed chair says it, so it must be true. And again, without going into the details, he went in to say, this is the biggest economic shock in the U.S. and the world, really, in living memory. I said this 3 months ago. And that's why you subscribe to the Trends Journal, to read history before it happens, because all they're selling us is one day after another to keep the little people of Slavelandia obeying their rules. All they do is sell
Bullshit.
You got it. I definitely think we are going to need another bipartisan legislation to put more money into the economy. That was Mnuchin, the Treasury Secretary. More cheap dough, gold and silver. Fed plans to keep rates low for years. More cheap money. OECD, Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, cites risk of new lockdowns. The numbers that they're calling down already are low, and it's going to get much worse. The second wave scenario would hit the global economy, shrinking by 7.6% this year. They're already saying it's going to come down some 6%. The United States goes way down. Here we go. Low demand worsens industrial deflation. China's industrial deflation worsened in May, with factory gate prices falling at their fastest pace in more than 4 years. The country's producer price index dropped 3.7%. Again, deflation, but they keep pumping more money in. Dragflation. Airline losses to reach $84 billion. Oh, and the markets are up 37% from their low. And what did we do? We, the little people of Slavelandia, gave the airlines $25 billion. We're the ones that have to pay for it. Private corporations that treat us like crap. This thing isn't coming back. More than 14,000 planes are still parked worldwide because of the slump in travel and the coronavirus. Not the coronavirus, what the politicians did. Ultra studies closing or remaking sites. Ultra Beauty Inc., a cosmetic chain that is a staple of shopping centers across the country, is undertaking a, quote, clean sheet review of its stores, exploring whether to close more. All right. Gym chain lays off employees. Gym chain 24-hour fitness worldwide laid off an undisclosed number of employees in multiple states via a series of phone calls yesterday. Zara owner to shut 1,200 stores. Starbucks speeds up to go shift. Speeds up to go. In other words, you're not going to go there. And people used to hang out at that place. And again, as I look at the coffee, the company said Wednesday that it plans to close or renovate some 400 stores. Heathrow to cut jobs as UK quarantine measures compound grim pressures. The slimy little lowlives over there. If you go to the UK, you got to be quarantined for 14 days. Some airlines claim that the quarantine rules are wholly unjustified and disproportionate because they were more severe than those faced by people with COVID-19 in the UK, including the threat of criminal sanction. But the ministers have insisted the rules are necessary. Ministers! What ministers? Low-life political shit. That's all politicians are. These are a bunch of bureaucrats behind them. They never work a day in their lives. They get the job because they suck up and bend over and take it. And I know it firsthand. I was the assistant to the Secretary of the New York State Senate back in the early 1970s. And here I am with my former lovely, beautiful wife, Mary Ann, may her soul rest in peace. When I was the assistant to the Secretary of the New York State Senate, I met her when I used to run political campaigns in Westchester County. So here's the proof, all right? Love blooms on the campaign trail. After I ran political campaigns in Westchester County, they sent me up there, so I know what it looks like. And it was the worst job I ever had. I quit after one session. And what else do we have here? Centrica to shed 5,000 jobs as UK job losses mount. This is a British gas place. Johnson Matthey to axe a sixth of its workforce because of the coronavirus pandemic. No, not because of the coronavirus pandemic, because of the politicians that closed down. They keep saying this. They keep blaming it on the pandemic, blaming it on the people that closed down the country. I'm tired of hearing this. Anyway, this is a place that they make vehicle pollution filters. No one yet knows how COVID-19 will impact the global economy, but we do expect that it will adversely impact demand across a number of our businesses, probably for quite some time, said Robert McLeod, their chief executive. UK car sales so far this year are down 50%. No one knows, yes, we know. And we've been saying it, and we're 100% on target. Movie theater chain AMC posts $2 billion loss. They may never be able to open up again and as a chain like they were. Mall landlord Simon calls off deal to buy high-end rivalry, Tubman. But Tubman described Simon's attempt to terminate the deal without merit. Again, one after another. Disneyland to restart phased reopening. And you listen to this phased reopening crap, and again, they're just making it up. Disney locations have been told to expect face masks, temperature checks before entering, and socially distanced. All right, what fun that's going to be. Great time in Disneyland. Oh, incineration rises as global volume swells. The world is creating more garbage, and it is getting tougher to dispose of it. That is leading to more cities to send their trash to incinerators. Global waste is expected to hit 3.4 billion tons. And it goes on and on. Overall, incinerator plants capacity is forecast to rise 43% by 2028. You're worried about the coronavirus? They're killing us in 100 different ways. Why do they wear the mask in China all that time? Couldn't be because of the filthy, rotten, disgusting air. And only 1.5 million people died there last year, Salenti. And now it's going to get worse. And you're worried about the chemicals they put in the food, in the water. You like them artificial flavors and artificial colors. GMOs may be your thing. They're killing us in 100 ways, and now they're destroying our lives because of this
bullshit
virus. Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister of the UK, Donald Trump's brother, I think. Maybe something happened over there because these two guys, they're out of their mind and they look alike. He confirmed only a partial further easing of restrictions. All shops will be able to reopen after 82 days of closure. You ready? Adults living alone and single parents with children under 18 will be able to form, quote, support bubbles. Look at the crap they're making up. Support bubbles. Shove that bubble, Boris. Look at what they're doing to us. Country after country, madman and mad woman after another. With one another in households to ease loneliness. Europe reopens with rules. Ice cream in Italy, dates in Denmark. Goes on to show you all the stupid crap that everybody's making up. Franchise owners parse many rules as they reopen. Tons and tons of rules, and the companies are making up rules, and it costs them a lot of money. And you read what they have to say, and it makes no sense. Miami Beach reopens to the public with restrictions. Chairs being sanitized at Miami Beach. You only allowed groups of 10 people. Only 10 people. And beachgoers must have face masks. You must! How can people tolerate this? Parents assess daycare risk. And now they're wondering whether or not to open these daycare places, afraid to send their kids there. And this is from the Wall Street Journal, giving little kids temperature checks as they're walking in, huh? Isn't that going to be fun? That really puts free spirit in you. And then you look at the people in this. Why are a lot of people dying in America? Obesity, diabetic, lung disease, respiratory ailments. 42% of Americans are obese. 70% are overweight. Obesity being part of that. One of my top trends for 2019 or 2018 was ready to explode. The cost of obesity, not only to the people, but to society. And then you look at this, and you read the moronic stuff they have to do. And then the owners of these places saying, with all the new regulations, we don't know if we're going to be able to stay in business. Murphy lifts restrictions and allows bigger groups. Murphy, little boy Murphy, the clown governor in New Jersey. And then they write in here that there were 12,000 deaths. 12,000 deaths, over 50% of them from nursing homes. But they leave that out. That's who's dying. The unhealthy. Masked and relieved, New Yorkers reclaim city. You know what that is.
Bullshit.
You got it. Masked and relieved. Look how they're putting this into our heads. Like that little Slimer up there, the King Cuomo, the daddy's boy that's governor. We're going to culturalize masks. So every little stupid person wears one. Oh, and then he rides the subway to show how safe they are. What, are you kidding me? Ride the damn subway every day. No, I'll only ride it once to put on the act, and the stupid people will buy it. What makes Sin City cautious? Risk of virus as casinos reopen. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. How many people died in Las Vegas, Nevada? Grand total, 438 people. 438 people. From warehouse to office towers, virus remakes the workplace. Big story about how terrible it's going to be to go to work and how they sucked all the joy out of it. But again, here's the propaganda that they keep doing over and over again. Virus remakes the workplace. Not virus. Ignorant, gutless, cowardly freaks and fools. When employees at Salesforce, the cloud software giant based in San Francisco, where all the little geeks are, and these are the little freaks that were the first to close it down. Everybody got to work from home. And you look at the low numbers of deaths up in San Francisco, hardly any in the area. You know, maybe, probably guess, under 100. Eventually return to their office towers, they may find that the fun is gone from their famously fun-loving workforce because they're sucking joy out of our life and the people are buying it. U.S. to launch advanced trials of possible vaccine. And then we got Fauci, another little piece of garbage. Worst nightmare is far from over, Fauci warns. And then he goes on to start promoting the vaccine, and he goes on to say, well, access to vaccines will be essential. Dr. Fauci, another little piece of garbage crap that's been sucking off the public tit all his life, said it would probably not help if the U.S. government tried to impose price constraints on the drug makers. Wonder if he's on the drug hit with them, huh? Oh, yeah, jack up them prices, man. Fauci says so. Who would listen to this guy that's been nothing but wrong? Only the facts. And he won't give them to you. We do. In your Trends Journal, everybody freaking out about this. Current issue. 1957-1958 influenza pandemic, also known as the Asian flu, killed some 1 million people worldwide. At that time, with the world's population of about 3 billion, 1 million dead out of 3 billion is 0.33%. Today, COVID has killed some 400,000 out of a world population of 7.8 billion, or, you ready? 0.0051%. Those are the facts. And then we go on to say, that didn't close down nations to fight the flu back then. Indeed, if COVID-19 were as deadly as the Asian flu, with today's population of 7.8 billion people using the same percentage from 1957 to 1958 of 0.33%, it would equate, you ready? This is how many people would be dead now. Not 400,000, 2,600,000. And that 400,000 is also
Absolute bullshit.
because the CDC said you could call it anything you want without a test, and with not only them, in Belgium and other places, all the facts are in your Trends Journal. And again, we're doing this to bring back peace and restore freedom. We need your support. We have the facts. We are the truth. And united we stand, divided we fall. Please do what you can, and I know you have. Keep telling your friends about the Trends Journal. And subscribe to the Trends Journal. There's no other magazine like it. No one is doing what we're doing to the details that we're putting down. More propaganda. Homeless have high COVID death rate. You know how many homeless people died in New York? 80,000 homeless people. Again, this is from the Toilet Paper Record. 86 out of shelters, or I'm not sure because they weren't clear about that. If this was so deadly, all the homeless all over the country, we would be another 300,000 higher. How come the homeless aren't dying? And then wrapping up, Calls grow for Biden to choose a black woman. Well, that's racist and sexist. How about choosing the best person possible? Man, woman, white, black, yellow, transgender, anyone you want. Straight, bisexual. How about just the best person? America is not a racist country. There are racists in America. For anybody that can remember, there was this guy, the Nobel Peace of Crap Prize winner, hope and change you could believe in, Barack Obama. That wasn't a white cat. And they elected him president. And everybody loved him. Not everybody, but a lot of body. He was going to be the new savior. Black. Murderer. Gaddafi, I want him out of there. I don't like that guy Assad. Troop surge in Afghanistan. In the book Double Down, quoted as saying, I'm really good at killing people. With his drone strikes. Oh, we need a black president. And of course, there's murderer Bush. He's white. It doesn't make a difference. United we stand, divided we fall. And then finally, why you subscribe to the Trends Journal. The U.S. is refighting its Civil War narrative. This is out of the Jerusalem Post today. Guess what? Take a look at your Trends Journal cover last week. You think they're following what we're saying? One after another, in detail. They're picking up what we've been saying, and that's why you subscribe to the Trends Journal. History before it happens. This is Gerald Celente, and that's some of today's Trends in the News. The COVID-19 war has changed the world, but who's prepared? What's next? It's in your Trends Journal. Trends Journal subscribers are prepared. Subscribe to the Trends Journal. Read history before it happens. From the world leader in trend forecasting.